If you clicked on this video, it's because you want to turn your biggest insecurity into your glow up story. And I'm gonna take you through the step-by-step process to do this. I went from college dropout, obsessing and restricting over my body, attracting the wrong men, not knowing what I wanted to do in my life, to getting in the best shape of my life, having my dream relationship, moving to my dream apartment in my dream state, and starting my own business all within a few years. Here is a 4-step plan that you need to follow if you wanna glow up like this too. There is nothing unique about me, and I don't say that in a self-deprecating way. If you've struggled with thinking, am I smart enough? Am I motivated enough? Disciplined enough? I'm here to tell you that you are enough. You are just missing the right strategy. I remember when I was 20, I dropped out of college and I was so lost in my life. I took a lot of what I was doing for granted, but after 3 years, I had changed my major twice. I was unhappy with what my major was gonna be. I realized after a 4-year degree, I wasn't even going to be working the dream job I went to school to begin with, and I was super unhappy with the women I saw in the mirror. I honestly thought my life was crumbling beneath my feet and I didn't know where to go. I remember when I actually dropped out of university, how incredibly ashamed I felt. I felt like I was failing myself. I felt like I was failing my family. I felt like I was losing all of my best friends in the entire world. And I felt so incredibly not just ashamed, but embarrassed with what my life had amounted to. Summer job that I had been working previously at the time, and I asked for full-time hours, but it was a dead-end job in retail that I was unhappy in and I didn't see myself in long term. But I had this inkling that I was made for more, and so I committed to showing up the best I could for that job so that I could eventually figure out where I wanted to go. At the time, I was hiding this from so many people in my life, hiding it from my friends, my coworkers, anyone that I knew on Facebook or social media platforms, that I had dropped out of school and I had no idea what my next steps were. I remember packing up all of my stuff within a 24-hour window. Mind you, I drove 500 miles away because that's where I went to school, packed up all my stuff. Anything that didn't fit in my small car, which wasn't very much, I donated to Goodwill or threw out in dumpsters and drove 500 miles back the next morning. I felt like part of my life was ripped out from under my feet, but I knew it was the clean break I needed to figure my life out. Have you ever felt in your life something is just not working? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's what you're studying, whether it's your body, whatever, something just isn't clicking and working, but you keep investing time, energy, and money into it because you think eventually you'll start to feel better when you know on the inside something is off. Well, that's how I felt for so long, but because I thought that this was a path I had to follow, that this was it for me, that's what I kept giving into. I remember in that moment where I was in the most pain and where I felt like I was letting everyone down around me, I realized that it only could go up from here. Started dreaming up and writing out what I wanted to do with my life and went all in on my health and fitness goals. And I truly believe mastering my body first is what allowed me to see the success that I've seen in my life. Now I run my own business fully remotely. I live in beautiful Florida on the waterfront. I'm in my dream relationship and have been for many years now. And I've never been in better shape and better health than I am today. So here's a 4-step plan you need to follow to take your biggest insecurity into your biggest glow up story. Number 1, get ready for people actually being disappointed in you. I remember when I dropped out of school, it was something totally against the grain. It was something my family absolutely did not want me to do. And even though I dropped out, the plan was still to go back to school once I figured out what I wanted to do. Get prepared to disappoint everyone in your life. Your parents, your siblings, best friends, your significant other, literally everyone, random people from high school, random people from college. Get ready to turn heads and disappoint, because the truth is, if you want to live your dream life, if you want to let go of those insecurities and step into your power, you need to get ready to live life on your terms and not care about what other people's expectations are. Because at the end of the day, even though the people that love and care about you, it's coming from a good place, They don't care as much as you need to care about yourself. I disappointed people when I dropped out of school. I disappointed people when I decided not to go back to school. I disappointed people when I quit my job, quit my second part-time job to go all in my business. And I disappointed people when I decided to move across the country to live in Florida. And what you realize when you come out the other side, most of the people in your life that were disappointed at you because it came from a place of love are now cheering you on and happy for you because you are actually living a life you are passionate and proud of. How do you actually prepare yourself for this disappointment? You need to get crystal clear about what you want. And I remember at the time I had no idea what I wanted. Thought that I wanted to be a therapist. I thought that I wanted to help people in some way, shape, or form, but I had no idea what that looked like, and I had not done a deep dive into what skills I currently had or what skills I needed to acquire. I had to sit down and do a little bit of a brain dump and figure out what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what skills do I have, what skills would I like to develop, what is something that I'm really good at or knowledgeable about where I can help other people. Because I knew at the core, I really did want to be of service and I did want to help other people. So that's the first thing you want to do. Once you have a good idea of what you want to do, how you want to serve people, and what you're good at and what your skills are, now it's a lot clearer for you to not care about what other people think because you're no longer bombarded with what their expectations are, what their skill set is for you, what their idea of success is, and instead you're basing it off of what you're passionate about, what you want to see success in, and where you want to go. Second step is get delusional. You need to be so optimistic and delusional in your success that people literally think you're crazy. You need to expect no one to understand what you're doing and be totally okay with it. And even if you're not okay with it, kind of fake it till you make it. A lot of people who start their own business, start a YouTube channel, or start anything are not successful. But it's not because they don't have the ability to become successful. It's because they don't delusionally believe in themselves relentlessly. And if there's one thing that I have become good at and mastered is being delusional in my success. I know it's inevitable. I will keep doing it. I will keep showing up. And I don't care what anyone else thinks at this point. So how do you actually be delusional? In order to be delusional, you need to invent your alter ego. They are the best version of you, the most aligned version of you. And so now you need to operate on a daily basis based on that alter ego, not who you believe that you are in the present moment. This puts you into a delusion state where you actually act how your most successful version would act. This is going to mean different habits. This is going to mean different outlook, attitude, and ask yourself this one question: how would my alter ego respond to this event, to this person, to this obstacle, to this hardship? The third step you're going to need to follow is being disciplined. If you're okay with disappointing other people and you're totally delusional in your goals and your inevitable success, but you don't have the discipline or work ethic to actually get yourself there, then you're just crazy. And the easiest way to get disciplined is with your body, mastering yourself first. If you can get yourself to wake up earlier, you're going to the gym consistently, you're making sure you're doing your meal prep. If you can get disciplined in those things, you can be disciplined in anything in your life, because how you do one thing ends up being how you do everything. As soon as I was in my healthiest and fittest body, it was so much easier for me to focus in on my success. It was so much easier for me to be more confident and put myself out there and not care what other people thought, because I know that I had put in the work on myself, and I actually believe that if I put in the right effort, because I had the undeniable proof of getting my dream body first. The fourth and final step that you need to take your biggest insecurity into your glow up story is you need to have a deep sense of why. It can't be, I just want to make more money, want to buy a Birkin bag, hot in a bikini. You need to get crystal clear about why this is so important to you. Part of the reason why I wasn't seeing success in my life at the time where I was struggling the most and dropped out of college was because I didn't have a deep sense of why I was doing that to begin with. And for me, one of my deepest reasons why, and I cannot believe I'm sharing this on the internet, is when I was really young, a woman that I was super close to in my life tried to take her own life, and it really deeply impacted me. It impacted my relationships, it impacted my health, it impacted my entire life. And I wanted to always become the woman that could teach other women how to master themselves, how to know that they deserve to be here and they deserve to follow all the dreams they have in their life. It all comes from that belief in yourself. You are never going to get that from other people. You need to remind yourself on the days that you don't want to show up, on the days where you don't want to do the monotonous things to move things forward, that is where you need to tune into that energy and that passion to keep showing up. You care so much about succeeding because of this reason that you will do whatever it takes. If you're able to master this 4-step process, I guarantee you, you are going to be in the best shape of your life, having your dream life, and all of the things that you've always wanted. But remember, it starts with you.